Show on 100.7 WMMS.
I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want done, baby.
Chaka Khan is finally getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which might sound like a strange thing. I just love Chaka Khan. And I love, when Poundcake channels her, it's a thing of beauty. Yeah, but Chaka Khan has been nominated a number of times and has yet to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They announced their list of inductees for the class of 2023, and little Yvette Marie Stevens from Chicago, Illinois is going in there. No Iron Maiden, which, my feelings on that. I wanted Warren Zevon to go in. He's not going in, but I understood that he was a dark horse. That's a pick and not a lot of people are going to attach themselves to. Kate Bush is getting in, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Rage Against the Machine, and the Spinners. Chaka Khan's getting under that Musical Excellence Award. DJ Kool Herc, Link Ray, some industry types are in there. Don Cornelius, who, of course, a longtime host of Soul Train. Bernie Taupin, who is the guy who wrote all of Elton John's music. Elton John did the music. Bernie Taupin was his right-hand man, his lyricist. And so those are the people who are going in, and everybody can proceed to, I guess, go over this list with a fine-tooth comb. Tom Morello, if you follow him on Instagram, posted a multi-framed response to their induction into the Rock Hall. And that's a wild line for a band like Rage Against the Machine to have to walk when you're so anti-whatever.
Right.
Very, very anti things that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is pro. But Tom Morello said, hey, we're very happy to be part of this, and it's an honor, and for a band that has sued the government and things like that, you look out into an audience of Rage Against the Machine fans, and there's a lot of backward baseball caps and people who I don't think understood what the band, they liked the vibe of the band, they liked the sound of the band.
They're the type of people that are like, I like this band. I don't like when they get political.
I don't like their message is what I don't like. Yeah. That's my favorite kind of Rage Against the Machine fan because it means they still have things to learn. And we all do. And sometimes it takes a while.
Well, when I was at that Rage Against the Machine reunion show at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse brought to you by Key Bank, I was like, yeah!
That's right.
Let's rage against this machine. We're doing it.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, they've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's a corporate entity. Mm-hmm. And it's not like they have a hand in foreign policy or anything that Rage Against the Machine has planted their flag in over these decades, but they are, I imagine that maybe Tom Morello might be the one who has softened the most in that band. I mean, Tim Comerford, this guy, to this day, will corner you into a corner at a party. Start talking your ear off on, how Marxists should be running everything and whatever.
I do love when someone was coming at Tom Morello and he's like, what gives you the right to speak this way about political matters? He's like, well, anyone should be able to have an opinion, but the fact that I have a doctorate in political science from Harvard or something, he's got like a great degree, and just really put the guy in his place.
Well, he's so dummy.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
And I love Tom Morello. And I'm a big Kate Bush fan, too, so I'm happy to see her get in. I think the Kate Bush was really launched back into the public consciousness because of Stranger Things, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people see that as a nod to whatever, but this whole thing is pop culture. Sheryl Crow, great. Sheryl Crow's awesome. Good for her. But again, and I am no purist, but when you have acts going in and Iron Maiden, again, isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, something is off. you know, and it doesn't have to be a binary situation. These are all great acts. You know, we would go over that fan vote every couple of weeks, and the fan vote is a nice snapshot of what people are thinking, obviously. And they weren't thinking about rock and roll. So that's a weird disconnect, too, because it is obviously open to everyone. It's not confined to people. You know, you don't have to check your bona fides at the door with respect to rock and roll, because they very clearly moved beyond that.
Yeah, they said it's a vibe. It's
For
not
a long-
about the music. It's like
It's
this
a
thing.
vibe.
It's hard to put your finger on it.
So the fan vote was Cyndi Lauper and George Michael. Soundgarden was near the bottom of the list there. They're not going in either. But neither is Cyndi Lauper. I mean, she was really very near the top of that fan vote. My wish is that Willie Nelson doesn't die between now and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's going to be November 3rd in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Is that where the Nets play?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was coming back. I guess next year I'll be back here in Cleveland because it
I
was
think
in
so.
L.A. last year.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Brooklyn this year, and hopefully it'll be back in Cleveland. I'm sure the people in charge would love to phase Cleveland out altogether, but you kind of can't because the goddamn thing is here in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet for all intents and purposes, the people who are in charge would love to just go back and forth between New York and L.A. So they kind of throw Cleveland a bone because the building is here. But, you know, Spinners, if you go far enough back, Poundcake's mom, my mom, probably listening to the Spinners.
Never heard of those in my life.
You've never heard of the Spinners?
No.
I bet your mom has. They had great songs. They were from suburban Detroit. And, you know, I'll Be Around and the Rubber Band Man. You never heard those songs?
Is
I
that
don't
the
think I
get
know
around,
those.
get around, I get around?
That was would be
I'm
the
Rubber
Beach
Band Man,
Boys.
wild as the Taliban,
Nope.
9 in my right. That one? That's them?
Wild as the Taliban. Yeah, when these guys were singing in the 50s about the Taliban, people were
Well,
like,
that's the Rubber Band Man song.
we got to really keep our finger on what these guys are singing about because down the road, we might have to look at Islamofascism and see if these guys had their finger on anything. Rubber Band Man was a huge hit. I'll Be Around was a huge hit. Working My Way Back to You, Babe. Never heard the Rubber Band Man?
No.
Never heard that. What about Working My Way Back to You, Babe? Nothing?
I dig it.
I know this one.
Yeah. Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? That's the Spinners, too. Could it be I'm falling in love? Got a ton of hits.
It sounds like an old people wedding song.
Well, I mean, they were a R&B band from the 50s and 60s and 70s. They had a lot of songs.
Like when you go to your aunt's second wedding, that's the one she dances to.
Right. I'll be there.
You got to know this one.
These are good songs. I mean, they're in movies and things. And
Wait, let this one go. What's this one?
I'll Be There.
I'm thinking of the Jackson, I'll Be There. I'll Be there.
That's Michael Jackson, not... I don't even know how many original guys are in the Spinners. This is one of those bands where it's like
They're
they
just
have the
moving people
brother
through,
of one of
yeah.
the founders and the other guys are just session players, you know?
There's nowhere to go. Oh no, you made your choice.
Sometimes they will pick R&B bands from way back to go into the Rock Hall, and you're kind of like, okay, there's some people who are into these guys, but most people might not know. Spinners are a really good pick. They've been around a long, long time. A ton of great songs.
Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be
When I was a kid, and this is embarrassing to say, but it was in the early days of HBO, and so it was on all the time. The Spinners had a couple of songs in a movie called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. And
Is that Don Knotts?
Don Knotts, I don't no,
Who
you're
is it?
thinking of The Amazing Mr. Limpet when he
That's
turns into a
what I'm thinking
cartoon
of.
fish.
Yes, it is.
No, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, they shot this in Pittsburgh in the 70s, and it was about a basketball team that was awful. It was terrible. Now, mind you, this being in the 70s was a very big deal. And the fish they're referring to is the zodiac symbol Pisces. And the team is the Pittsburgh Pythons, and they're a pro basketball team, which Pittsburgh has never had, by the way. And they're having, not an NBA team anyway, and they are having a really hard time. And so they bring in like a guy who gets them into the zodiac. And so they start, they change, like they get a team where all the members are Pisces.
Okay.
And that's the fish that's saved. It's a terrible movie. I mean, but it's got a lot of like old-timey comedians, and it's got Globetrotters in it and things like that. But the Spinners had a couple of songs in that movie. I loved The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. And then, of course, years later when I would live and work in Pittsburgh, nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. Really, they shot it here. They go, yeah, bro, that was 40 years ago. What do you want from me? Okay, fine. Well, 20 years ago by the time I moved to Pittsburgh. But so Spinners going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And again, this is phase one. Phase two is when they trickle out the information about who's going to be doing the inducting. And that's always fun, too. Who will induct Shaka Khan? Again, every time.
Madonna.
Well, I would like Poundcake to do it.
Oh.
I mean, as Northeast
Is he qualified?
Absolutely.
Am I
As
qualified?
Northeast Ohio's premier Shaka Khan impersonator, why not? We should get him. Of course, these aren't in Cleveland. We got to do this for next year.
They can fly me out, private jet style.
That's what they'll do. They get you a PJ and they'll put you right on it. But the only catch is no snacks.
That's okay. I can.
The rolled gold pretzels are for the pilots and the crew.
I'll starve if I can just get one of those selfies in the private jet. Better yet, let me just get a grounded private jet and let me sit on there for a minute, and then I'll fly Spirit to New York.
Yeah. You know, Frontier's opening up I read they were opening up a direct route to Puerto Rico. If you and McBoyfriend want to get down to San Juan,
I've been saying that for a
got
while.
a bureau chief there. Should get
San
down
Juan's
there.
awesome.
Yeah,
I went there in
a lot of fun.
college.
Well, isn't San Juan? San Juan's not on the beach, is it? I thought that was.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was
Right
in
up
the
on the
middle.
beach.
Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico.
That's why its nickname is San Juan.
Mm-hmm.
Sand John is what they call it.
Yeah.
Because it's like a public toilet. I've got to give you some money here. It is $1,000 American, courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. Listen closely. Last week to get some of this money, so I hope you do. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Green. That's green. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
I was reading, somebody did, again, this all sounds very vague as to how they determined this. I don't know what their procedure was, but they did a study on what music made people feel the most confident. And I guess they were extrapolating from streaming searches that people made that supposedly reflect positive body image. And so obviously there's a lot of Lizzo.
Meghan Trainor.
Meghan Trainor's not on there.
She makes me feel confident.
She's not on a lot of people's radars anymore.
I
can't stand Meghan Trainor. Why do you like her?
I love Meghan. Every song she puts out, I love. It makes me feel confident.
But it just doesn't. Yeah, because
What? Say it.
she is not the type of person to be singing the songs that she sings. Like
type of person?
Yes, because she's not that hot to be talking about, oh, I'm just the baddest bitch
That's
in the game.
why I love it so much.
Like she has a
I
song
think Meghan
called
Trainor's cute.
I think so too.
She has a song called No, and it's the most snobbish song you've ever
One of
heard
my
in your
favorite
life.
songs by her.
And I'm like,
Wait, Poundcake, are you saying that in order to sing any kind of song
Yes.
about confidence, you have to be crazy hot?
not even, you can be confident. Like Lizzo sings songs about confidence, but she's not saying she's the skinniest, the prettiest, the hottest. Like,
Well,
She
nobody's
doesn't
going to
say
call.
she's the skinniest.
But
Nobody-
she says she's the hottest.
all
yeah.
the time she's saying.
And there's no way she could call herself the skinniest. That wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
even be part of the lyrical content.
I
but-
don't play tag, bitch. I've been it. Like that's she. All
right.
of her lyrics are
All right.
I'm the hottest thing
I just
that's
don't
ever
like
walked the
Meghan
planet.
Trainor.
That's
Fine.
exactly what it is.
I just don't like Meghan Trainor. She makes this song called No, and I'm like, no one will walk into a club full of chicks. No one's gonna look at Meghan Trainor and be like, oh, I am not leaving here until I get her number. Like, no,
Well, there's a
she's-
lid for every pot.
She's not that
She's
chick.
married.
I find that to be misleading because I lose lids all the time.
Doesn't mean
But
it's
there
not. Doesn't,
is a
it
lid.
goes to the pot just because you can't find it. You
Well,
have
I mean,
a,
it's
you have
gone.
a you have a lidless pot.
It's gone.
Her song Me Too.
And I got this weird rectangle pot.
Meghan Trainor's song Me Too. It's not about the Me Too movement. It came out before that.
Did it?
But yeah, no, but like it. The main line of the chorus is "If I was you, I'd
would
want to
wanna
be me too." And I listen to that song and I feel like
And
a
that's
whole
what
new
it's,
woman.
And that's what it's supposed to do. Any of that music, this thing, rock bands, Queen, Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, whatever. They did say that rock and heavy metal is the most listened to genre with fans with the highest body image proportion. So metal is really good for body image. If you're a metal fan, it's kind of like an FU.
Well, it's
I don't
because
care
Black's
what you think about it.
slimming, so
Well, that's true too.
you're going to be feeling pretty good.
That's not bad. So Lizzo is at the top of the pop thing. And again, Lizzo has come a long way. I mean, people got hip to her a few years ago, but before that, she was still writing songs about being really confident. A little less so. You might recall that song where she said she was 56% that bitch.
No, I don't remember that one. Was
But
that
then-
a first edit?
But then down the road, when she got more confident, and that was reflected in her lyrics. Megan Thee Stallion is at the top of the hip hop and the rap. So I think you're probably noticing a pattern with the pop music and who's considered the most body positive or confident in these songs. But I frankly am happy to hear somebody extolling the virtues of Meghan Trainor.
I love her.
Because she kind of blew up real big from that All About That bass. And then
Alan,
nothing,
she's not that big.
She
and
actually
then
lost a lot.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's
And
what I'm saying.
nothing happened. She kind of got married and they started having kids.
She
and
married the guy from Spy Kids, and she's just a
So
hypocrite.
what?
I'm just saying she's a hypocrite.
How? Just because you don't think
Because
she's
she did,
hot,
because she
doesn't
did
mean other
that,
people-
because she did that song where she said, "I will never marry a kid from Spy
No,
Kids."
she's a hypocrite because she was like, "Oh, it's all about that bass. Oh, I love having curves. I love being fat and blah blah blah." The first chance she got,
Act like Lizzo wouldn't do the same. Lizzo gets $1 million
I've said
endorsement.
that for years. I said Lizzo is waiting out her contract. The moment her contract is up, she's like, "Up, I'm body transformation." Jennifer Hudson did it.
Adele.
But Meghan Trainor, but Meghan
Trainor.
Trainor is not 98 pounds.
No,
she's still a curvy gal.
She probably weighs 140.
Yeah, she's still like the torrid of pop singers.
No,
She doesn't even sing anymore, really. When's the last song she put out?
she just
cares?
had one come out like 2 weeks ago.
Why do you hate her so much?
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Because
either.
It's so funny that you get so worked up.
Because I
over
just can't
something.
stand it. I
Like,
just
but
hate
it's
it.
so easy to avoid. I don't even know any of these songs that you're bringing up.
I'm feeling Poundcake though, because that's how I am with Panic at the Disco.
Where you just hate everything they
Oh,
do.
I'm like, you dumb son.
But the
of
thing
bitches.
is, I don't hate her music. Like, I hate the
she
message
went
behind
from
her music.
over 200
I
pounds,
hate the message.
which, by the way, is body confidence. You ugly bitches better
Which is
not
just-
feel
but
good
it's
about
not-
It's
yourself.
like
It's the
similar to that. It's just like loving yourself. Like
Right.
I don't think she's saying like, "Hey, this is the healthiest thing." That blah blah. She's saying like, it's okay to love yourself for
Wherever
who you
you
are.
She's a
are.
hypocrite, though. I hate her message because
Why?
it's flawed. Because it's flawed. She doesn't really believe what she says. She just sings it.
But she doesn't know what the future holds, right? And so you write about what you're living in that period of time, and in that period of time, for her, it was all about that bass
Let me tell you about this other hypocrite
or bass
piece of
for her dad, who
garbage.
was an angler.
This guy Randy Travis wrote this song for his wife. I'm gonna love you forever and forever
Got
and ever.
divorced.
Amen. Then they get divorced. So what a hypocrite!
Yes.
Garbage song, huh?
Garbage human.
Because that song, Dear Future Husband, the song No.
What would you like, artists?
You know a lot of her songs.
How
for
would
not
you like-
She's
liking
got
her.
I
great
used to-
music.
How
used
would
to
you,
play it in
Cody?
the-
How would you like artists to maintain writing evergreen lyrics
Adele.
about things that will never change?
I feel like Adele is true to her music.
Every one of her album titles is her age.
And it's about
Yeah,
breakups.
she's
So
not
it's
21
all-
anymore.
Her singles.
It's all what a hypocrite. She got older.
She's not singing about being fat. She was singing about heartbreak and love.
Okay,
and
Meghan
that's-
Trainor has
wonderful-
one song about being all about that bass, is the only one where she's like, and all she's saying is, I'm not a size 2 and that's cool. I still look good.
By the way, that song, the only debut single by any artist to get 1 billion views on YouTube, is all about that bass
For her.
for you fishermen. Yeah, well, good for her. But Poundcake Boy,
Poundcake.
don't bring up
Yeah.
Meghan Trainor.
And don't evolve as a human.
I
Well,
love
it's
Meghan
worked for
Trainor.
him.
Be the exact same person you were your entire life.
She's someone I would want to like hang out with. I feel like if I
Let's
met Meghan
not
Trainor,
get crazy
no,
here.
I follow her on Instagram, TikTok. I feel like we would be friends.
Go on
if
her
me and Meghan-
podcast then.
Man,
next
I
time
feel
you
like-
go
Yeah, I
out.
will.
How do you know she has a podcast? I guess because everybody has a podcast.
Everybody.
But how do you know if you hate her this much? This is the thing that blows my mind about Poundcake.
Because I'm a hater, Bill, so I have to look at her material
But-
and make sure that I hate it.
But do you really hate her or do you love her? Is that what it really is?
In line.
Bop-a-loo, bop-a-lop,
It's a very
bam-boo.
thin
How do
line.
I know I hate her if I don't look at her stuff? I have to look at all her pictures and make sure I don't like them.
The stuff that I don't like, I just don't engage with. But the stuff that you don't like, you're like, I got to make sure I see it all.
No,
He's like a
it's-
good lawyer. He's researching the other side.
Yeah, but the joke's on him because he drills down more than some legit fans would.
Mm-hmm.
He's hate watching and viewing and all that.
it's the stupid algorithm. Like,
Blah, 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 blah,
I don't even think I follow her. I follow like a gay guy that she hangs out with.
I know
And-
which gay guy. I think his name's Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, the one you're talking
I follow the gay guy. He's like, I'm just hanging out with
He's
Meghan
cute.
Trainor. Yeah, I follow him. I'm like, oh, now I gotta hang out with your stupid gay or your girlfriend just because I want to see you.
So when her book, Personal Trainer, comes out, you won't read it?
No. But now I understand why people, don't want to. They want to like Erica, and then they see me in all her little pictures. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm her gay. They don't like me, but they deal with Erica, and vice versa.
So complicated. I've got to take a break. You want to send a text? 35192. I will have Alter Bridge tickets for you. They're coming through with Mammoth WVH and Seven Dust this fall. So if you want to check